on all the graduates. It's fun being a part of that Friday. So yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Okay. Raquel?
I'll second the Happy Flag Day. And I want to thank all the letters that we received from parents in our community sharing their experience in the NHS performing arts. I'm committed to advocate to continue to fund these programs that are so important to all students. I also want to congratulate the seniors who graduated this last Friday. It was really fun to be a part of it. I'm very happy to have been able to participate in that. And also to commend Maddie and Rowan for their service to the board. I know I'll see you guys again. And just thank you for dedicating time and to be a part of this. I appreciate that. And that's it.
All right. Director Sheehan?
I don't have any comments this evening.
Okay. Director Hart?
Not much tonight. A great graduation. What a great group of graduates, and all the people who put it together. It was phenomenal, and all the cover and all the people who endured the rain and stuff. And yeah, it was just, it was neat to be a part of that. Shout out to Tammy for, including us in that, and Tim Berg for his kind words, and all the other staff participating. It was a great night. So.
Okay. I'll go next. It was fun to go over to Mountain View for the humanities, the poetry. I know several of us were there. Also the arts. It was really fun to have Lindsay invite us over and to see everything that the kids are doing at Mountain View. You could tell there was a lot of hard work. I was particularly impressed when we were in the humanities situation, and they had probably 40 young people just quiet for the whole time. I mean, those kids were super respectful. It was really good. Also for Jake Weibel coming tonight for the performing arts. Hopefully this can, get worked out and make it great for all those people who that's their chosen thing they like to do. And hopefully we can help out. And also to Mark Brown and Tammy, Tim Burke, for everybody putting on a great graduation. I wanted to get up and hold an umbrella really bad for all those kids who had to walk through that waterfall. I didn't want to do that because they were just getting hit, but I didn't want to get any, didn't know what, my role was there. But those kids were just, they look at that wall of water and they was just like, oh my goodness sakes. So, but it did slow down a few times in there, and that was a great graduation. I know the kids, I talked to several at grad parties, and they had a blast at the all night grad night thing. I've done 15 of those, and it's a fun way to end your senior 12 years of school. So that's mine. So Rebecca, you go.
I also attended the humanities at Mountain View, and I was impressed with the imaginative and the education and the articulate speeches the kids gave. It showed real learning and education has been going on in our schools. And I was thankful to attend Catalyst graduation and celebrate the spirit of the students who've overcome so much to become successful. And then the highlight is always graduation. Having been a graduation coordinator, I know what went into orchestrating such an event. And I am very thankful to have been part of that. And I also want to say farewell to all the staff who are leaving us at the end of the year through retirement or changing jobs. You will be missed, and you are appreciated for all the hard work and dedication you've done. I have one last thing to say. The board's actions and decisions this past year has broken my heart, and therefore I'm submitting my resignation from the Newberg School Board tonight. I find I can no longer work with people who I feel do not have the best interest of every student and every staff member at heart. it has been my deepest privilege and honor to serve the community of Newberg and Dundee for the past 20 years. First as a parent volunteer, then as a high school secretary, a classified union officer, and then on the board. I want to thank the students and staff who I've shared so many experiences and have worked alongside with. You have made me a better person. You've broadened my horizons with your experiences, and I'm a more compassionate and empathetic person because of sharing your life with me. I promise I will find new and different ways to support you in the future. I also want to thank my family, my husband, Gene, who's been my technical advisor and my chauffeur during this time while I've been on the board, and my 3 children who are Newberg High School graduates who have shown me and taught me the importance and the value of a public school education. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
When I joined the Newberg School Board in July of 2017, the class of 2022 was in 7th grade. And when I joined this board, I had plans of handing my daughter her diploma in the class of 2030. I imagined the celebration of seeing my youngest child cross the stage, full of excitement and joy, knowing that I did all I could to ensure that she and her classmates had a robust and engaging 12 years of public education in Newberg, that they would look back on their childhood as one of privilege, growing up in a small town that was loving and supportive. And that has all changed. It's safe to say that no one could have predicted what would happen in our world and our community over the last 5 years. The school board I joined had members who had served the students of Newberg and Dundee for decades. They were a group of people who were both moderate and considerate. Many had children in the district and were well known and respected in the community. There was a sense of duty to ensure that we were a steady force for positive growth. In my time on the Newberg School Board, I'm proud of our accomplishments. The board hired an interim superintendent, conducted a robust nationwide search for a permanent superintendent, had regular board trainings and professional development, created policies that addressed our dire financial situation and were clear on our support for students and their safety. And we successfully passed the largest bond in Newberg history. These accomplishments will continue to benefit the students in our community for decades to come, and I am proud of the small role that I played. I greatly appreciate former board members Bob Woodruff, Ron Mock, and Director Inez Pena, and of course, our current board member, Director Rebecca Piros. Working and learning from you all taught me invaluable lessons in leadership and life. My conversations with you challenged me to think beyond my perspective and my experience. I grew both as a leader and a human in our time together, and you have left an indelible mark on my heart. In my 2 years as board chair, we navigated a global pandemic and a divided political reality while raising graduation rates and expanding student opportunity. I will forever look back on this experience as an example of what can be achieved and created when competent and compassionate people unite to shape a community where everybody belongs, is supported, and is celebrated. It is a great professional and personal disappointment that in the last year, I have been part of a school board that is laser focused on destroying not only public education, but our community. For months, hundreds of students, staff, parents, and community members pleaded with this board to listen, to lead with professionalism and compassion, and these pleas fell on deaf ears. While words like transparency, parental voice, and fiscal conservatism came from the board, actions like name-calling, homophobic slurs, rampant abuse of power, and disregard for public meeting laws and tax dollars are happening. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and what I have experienced on this board for the last 3 years has brought back far too many personal memories of abuse. Colleagues telling me that their atrocious and abusive behavior was in fact my fault, that the name-calling, the sexism, and the outright disrespect were my fault because I refused to break the law and let students and educators suffer open harassment and discrimination. No one deserves to be treated poorly, called names, laughed at, and disregarded. Abusers abuse because they are broken, not because they are provoked. No one can make someone yell at them, degrade, or lessen them. It is the weakness of fearful, incompetent people attempting to hold on to their perceived power. And unfortunately, the actions of this board have continued to justify openly treating people with hate and anger. Let me be clear. I refuse to persecute children and educators based on their race, gender, sexuality, income, or housing reality. As a publicly elected official, a mother, and a human, I will not break the law or engage in open and hostile discrimination. That does make me a defiant outsider in the face of this board, and I'm proudly defiant of this board's illegal and immoral actions. To the voters of Newberg and Dundee, vote. Run for school board in May of 2023, and do not allow our communities to be defined by hateful extremism. We have become a national example of what happens.
Approach our 3 minutes.
Great, thank you. What happens when a school district is hijacked by outside political funding, extremism, misinformation, and propaganda?
Point of order. We are well past our 3 minutes.
Okay, then I won't finish.
So, I mean, you've said a lot there. It's your opinions. Obviously, you have disagreements, but they are your opinions.
That's fine. You are constantly a shining example of grace and leadership, Chair Brown, so I will finish there.
Mr. Chair, I move to amend the agenda to accept the resignations of Director Piros and Pena.
I didn't resign. I got cut off. I can finish if you'd like, or we can end there.
Are we going to wrap this up or?
I have, yeah, probably 30 seconds left. Okay, I can finish. Thank you.
Ready to go?
I was going, yes. Let's see, where was I? We have become a national example of what happens when the school district is hijacked by outside political funding, extremism, misinformation, and propaganda. This will not be the end of our story. Ever an optimist, I believe that there are brighter days ahead. And in the meantime, keep looking for the helpers, those who are centering student and staff needs and voices, those who recognize that simply existing is not political, that simply loving is not controversial. Remember, from the darkest dark comes the brightest light. This board is no longer a place to create healthy change, work with other professionals dedicated to students, or be associated with. I can no longer have my name, efforts, and passions associated with this dysfunction. I fear the financial, legal, and moral ramifications for this school district in the coming years. And while I am stepping down from this position effective at the adjournment of this meeting, I am far from leaving this fight. This is just the beginning of my advocacy, and I have plenty of defiance left in me. I'm sorry that many of you will no longer have an advocate on this board. And I'm sorry that I couldn't do more to protect you. The next year is going to be rough, and there's no shame in taking care of yourself and those you love. Let your joy be your resistance. For those who can continue to fight, thank you. Organize, resist, be bold, knowing you are always on the right side of history when you are leading from love. Thank you all for this incredible opportunity.
You good?
Oh, great.
Point of order, I made a motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the resignations of Director Finner and Director Piros.
Second.
All those.
It was just to amend it. We have to amend the agenda and then we can deal with the actual resignation.
Okay.
To be clear, we are resigning at the adjournment of this meeting.
Okay. So I guess it would go per their request at the end of new business. I don't think that's how it would normally act, but that's fine. I don't have any discussion. So. Director Piros, is your resignation also effective at the end of the meeting?
Yes.
Thank you. So we should just vote on the motion, Mr. Chair.
All right. Vote on the motion to amend the agenda for tonight. All those in favor, raise your hand. We have 6, Director Pinner, Director Powell, Director Perino, Director Shannon, Director DeHart, Director Brown. All those opposed, say no. All those abstain? Motion
I
passes
voted
6-0.
yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Motion passes 7-0.
Chair, Jen Schneider's on. Do you want to call on?
Is she back now? Okay.
Yes.
If she's ready, let's go ahead and have Jen catch up on hers.
Thank you, Chair Brown. I want to say a big congratulations to the class of 2022. It was quite an adventure to watch that graduation in the pouring rain, but wish them all the very best. Also wanted to say